Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss about a very important chapter in ICSE chemistry, that is the periodic table. So we all know that this periodic table is nothing but it is a tabular form in which elements are arranged. So in the periodic table the elements are arranged in a systematic order. And what is the reason for this? So why these elements are arranged in this periodic table in a systematic order? The main reason for this is so it will be easy for us to learn and understand the properties of the elements. Okay, so the main reason is it will make it easy to study the elements. So the arrangement of these elements in the periodic table makes it very easy for us to study the properties of the elements, and that is the reason why the elements are arranged in the periodic table. And so as per this ICSE class 10, so we are not going to learn about the previous theories of this periodic table. So we learn about this modern periodic table, or it is also called long form of periodic table. And in this periodic table all the elements are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic number. So here the modern periodic table is based on the atomic number of that element, and the modern periodic law states that the physical and chemical properties of the elements are the periodic functions of their atomic number. That means the physical and chemical properties of the elements will depend upon the atomic number of that element. So this is called modern periodic law. Okay, so as per this, the physical and chemical properties of the elements are the periodic functions of the atomic number of that element. And in this periodic table all the elements are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic number. So they are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic number. So let's see how these elements are arranged in this periodic table. So in this periodic table, so there will be 7 horizontal rows. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 horizontal rows you can see over there, and 18 vertical columns. Okay, so here you can see vertical columns from 1 to 18. So here you can see 1, 2, and here you will have vertical columns 3 to 12. And so this part you are not going to study as per ICSE chemistry, and we study only this column 1, 2 and 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. So you don't need to worry about this columns from 3 to 12. And these horizontal rows are called periods. So these horizontal rows are called periods, and the vertical columns are called groups. That means there will be 7 periods and 18 groups in this periodic table. And let's see how the position of an element can be determined. Now, so this period number So which is written here, period number 1, period number 2, period number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this period number will indicate, or this period number indicates the number of shells in the element, means the number of shells present in the atom of that particular element. Okay, that means the elements which are having one electron shell will go to period number 1. It will go to period number 1, and the element which is having 2 electron shells, those elements will go to period 3, so period 2. And the elements which are having 3 shells, they will go to period 3. Similarly, for 4 shells, the element will go to period number 4. That means here the number of shells in the atom of that element will decide its period number in the periodic table. Okay, say for example, if you have sodium's atomic number is 11 and its electronic configuration is 281. So in this you have KLM, 3 shells, right? So 3 shells. So sodium will be placed in period 3 because it has 1, 2, 3. 3 shells it has. So sodium will go to period number 3. Okay, right. So now we can identify the position of, or the period number of an element from its number of shells. And similarly, we can identify the group number to which the element belongs based on its number of valence electrons. Like the group number indicates the number of valence electrons in the atom of that element. Okay, so here the group number indicates the number of valence electrons present in the atom of that element. Okay, for example, if you take sodium, the same example I am taking, sodium, its atomic number is 11 and electronic configuration will be 281. Now, how many shells you have to count? KLM. So here you have 1, 2, 3. 3 shells are there. So it will go to period number 3. Right? So here period number indicates the number of shells. Okay. So there are 3 shells. So it will go to period number 3. And the number of valence electrons. So here sodium has 1 valence electron, means 1 electron in its outermost shell. So since it has 1 valence electron, so that sodium will be placed in group 1 or 1A. Okay, so here the group 1 is also called 1A and this is 2A. Similarly, this will be 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, 7A, and this is 8A. So here this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this will represent the number of valence electrons present in that element. Okay. So here sodium has 3 shells. So the position of sodium will be in the 3rd period and it has 1 valence electron. So it will go to first group. So 3rd shell and first group. So sodium is placed over here. So let's see another example. If you take calcium, so the electronic configuration of calcium is 2882. So now in this case it has KLMN, 4 shells. So this will be present in the 4th period. And number of valence electrons, 2 valence electrons. So it will be in 2nd A group. So 2nd A. So 4th period and second group. So the position of calcium will be here. Let's see another example. For example, if it is chlorine, electronic configuration is 287. So now there are KLM, 3 shells are there. So because it has 3 shells, so it will be third period. Okay, so chlorine will go to third period. And 7 valence electrons. So 7 valence electrons means it will go to 7A. 7A group. So where is 7 here? Here is the 7A. Third period and 7th A group. So this is the position of chlorine. So chlorine is placed over there. So this is how we have to place the elements in the periodic table based on its atomic number, or based on the number of electron shells and number of valence electrons present in the atom of that element. So this is how we can locate the element in the periodic table. And so in this periodic table, if you take a group, say for example, if you take group 2A or group 2. So in this group 2, you have these elements: beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium. So if you compare their properties, means the properties of these elements which belong to the same group, then they all have, all elements will have similar properties. Similar properties means if you know the properties of beryllium, or if you study the properties of beryllium, it means you have studied the properties of the remaining elements of that particular group. Similarly, if you take the first group, so you will have hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. So we know that except hydrogen is a non-metal, okay, but still it shows some resemblance with the group 1 metals in its properties. Okay, see for example, if you learn about the properties of lithium, so the same properties will be shown by the remaining elements of that particular group. So the properties of lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium will be similar. Okay, so in this way the elements are arranged in the periodic table so that it will be easy for us to study the properties of the elements. Group wise you can study and understand. And let's see the classification of the elements, or the classification of the groups. Okay, so here the group 1 elements are called alkali metals. So in this group 1, so all are metals except this hydrogen. Okay, so except this hydrogen, all these group 1 metals are called alkali metals. And in this group 2 or 2A, they all are metals and they are called alkaline earth metals. Alkaline earth metals. And similarly, when you come to this group 17 or 7A, so it contains chlorine, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, etc. So they all together called halogens. And this group, we already know this group, group 18, they are nothing but noble gases: helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. Okay, so these are called noble gases. Okay, and the elements which are placed here, they are called transition metals. Transition metals. Of course, we are not going to learn in detail about this transition metals. And if you see the periodic table, so this will be the periodic table. It looks like this. And below the periodic table, again you will have 2 rows. Okay, 2 rows. In each row you will have 14 elements. So altogether 28 elements will be there. 28 elements, and these 28 elements are called inner transition elements. Inner transition elements or metals, and they all are metals. So these transition metals, and these are called inner transition metals or inner transition elements. Anyhow, we are not going to discuss detail about this transition and inner transition metals, but in the exam point of view, you have to learn these first 2 groups and these last 2 groups at least up to period 5. Okay, so at least here up to here you have to learn. You have to by heart, somehow you have to by heart these 2 groups and these 2 groups, means these 4 groups, and first 3 rows of the periodic table, means here row 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's see what do we have here. So lithium, beryllium. So we know that all the elements are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic number. So hydrogen 1, helium 2, lithium 3, beryllium 4, and after that we have boron 5 and carbon 6, nitrogen 7 and oxygen 8, fluorine 9, neon 10, then sodium 11, magnesium 12 and aluminium 13, then silicon 14, then phosphorus 15, sulfur 16 and chlorine is 17, argon 18, and along with that remember these 2 elements also, potassium and sodium. So in exam point of view, you have to learn or you have to remember first 2 groups and the last 2 groups and first 3 rows in the order. Okay, so in the order you have to remember those elements in the exam point of view. If you see the periodic table, so group 1, group 2 and groups from 3 to 12. So all these are metals. All these are metals, and all the metals are placed on the left hand side of the periodic table. And if you go to the extreme right side of this periodic table, so on the extreme right they are noble gases. Noble gases are on the extreme right side. Extreme right side you can see the noble gases. And apart from this group 18, so if you see these elements, group 14, 15, 16, 17, so they will contain non-metals, means the non-metals are placed on the right hand side of the periodic table. And as you move from left to right, the metallic character, so left side you have metals, so they'll be showing metallic character, and right side you have non-metals. So as you move from left to right, the metallic character will be decreasing and the non-metallic character will be increasing. And in between these metals and non-metals, you have elements like boron and silicon. These boron and silicon, they are called metalloids. They are called metalloids, and these metalloids will show both the properties of metals and non-metals as well. Okay, so these are the metalloids we have in the first 3 periods. They are boron and silicon. Their positions will be in the 13th group and 14th group. This boron and silicon, since they are metalloids, they will show both the properties. They behave like metals and non-metals as well. So this is about the classification of elements in the periodic table, and this is how we can locate the element in the periodic table based on its number of shells and number of valence electrons. Okay, and the next topic is periodic properties. So we'll discuss about these periodic properties in the next class.